What's up? What's up? What's up?
Learn about Brazil.
Not right now. You're gonna listen now.
Learn about Brazil. Are you sure?
Yeah, Hayden.
Hey, don't block your sister.
Mommy, I'm not in the. Then move your chair.
Tell Uncle Drew what
Doing
Friday is.
homework? Learning about Brazil?
Friday is fun day.
Friday is fun day. So is Sunday. Sunday is also a fun day.
No.
No, just Fridays?
Mm-hmm.
So we're
I
gonna
like
be
your
fun.
shirt, Hayden.
Mommy, can you get me my head?
It's like a glittery rainbow.
The back
What's
of
your shirt,
Hayden's
Quinn?
shirt. The back of Hayden's shirt says the Earth is the only planet where rainbows are possible.
Ah, I like that. I like rainbows a lot. They bring me happy.
Mine's an elephant with monkeys on it, holding an umbrella, and there are a lot of like these things all over the elephant.
Where did you find that? And who gave that to you?
The hand-me-down from someone named Nadia.
Wow, that is super cool. I like both of your
One of
shirts.
my favorite shirts.
I can understand why. It's really, really cool.
I like Hayden's shirt too. Can I see? Here.
I like both of your shirts.
Yeah.
Do you see my shirt? Do you recognize this one?
Yeah.
You remember it, Hayden?
Daddy gave it to you.
Yeah, that's right. It was
For
my Christmas present. Exactly. We all have cool shirts.
Yeah.
Hayden, what if I'll trade you this shirt for your rainbow shirt? What do you think?
Yeah. Mine's
Okay,
bigger.
cool.
So it's
It
more
might be
like
the wrong size. Yeah. Yours is bigger, Quinn?
Yeah, but it still won't fit you. And Mommy has
Maybe
a
it
cool
would work
shirt
on my
too.
head. I could just wear like a head shirt and my ears would
Mommy
come out the arm
Cool
sleeve.
shirt too.
I want to be in a
Yeah?
cool shirt club. Yeah.
I'm not sure I like that one.
Nike and
What is the center? Is it just the Nike swoosh? What does it
it's
say?
Nike SB. You
And
probably
there's these super cool colors.
Oh, SB. I see. What does that stand for?
skateboarding. It was Shelby's shirt originally.
Ah, okay. Cool.
All right.
Good deal.
So let's
Brazil.
learn about Brazil.
Let's do it. Let's do it. What do you guys know about Brazil so far?
That is really close to Peru.
That's very true. In fact, it's so close that they're neighbors. See, look. Peru's right here and Brazil's right here, and they're touching each other.
And Brazil is very big.
It's huge. It's so big. It's almost the same size as the entire United States. See?
Whoa.
Massive.
But it's still small.
You think it's small?
Yeah.
Did you know that 60% of the entire world's rainforests are in Brazil? 60%.
No.
That's most of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It looks
See
like
how green it is?
Yeah, it looks like it only has like a couple mountains in it. Barely any.
It's
Yeah, like
really,
barely
really
any.
green. It's almost all forest. And this dark green forest is the Amazon. And see, there's like no cities there. It's all really, really thick forest with crazy, scary, massive animals and a couple of humans who are brave enough to live there because they like to be out in the wild. And we'll look at pictures of all of them. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So one other thing I'll say about Brazil before we get started is that because it's so big, it actually touches almost every single country in South America. See, look at the border here. Every single country on the north of it and the west of it, they all touch. The only ones that don't are Ecuador, this little one up here, and then Chile, the one that's right over on the border. But every other one's their neighbor. So Brazil has tons of neighbors. It's like the cool kid on the block. What do you think?
Yeah.
Are you friends with Brazil? I want to be friends with Brazil.
And this says Google down there. What is Google? In the
Google.
sea.
Yeah, Google. It's a underwater city buried deep on the bottom of the ocean.
that contains all the knowledge in the world. That's how
All
the
of
internet
the
works.
knowledge.
That's not
It really
true.
does.
That's
It has
not
all the
true.
information. Google is what is powering all of these lessons that we have together. Google does maps and it hosts information. It basically runs the internet in a lot of ways. And so all these websites, they're all from Google. Google has all this information for us to learn from.
But was Google right? What is Google right there?
No, it's not a location. It's just
No,
letting
it's
you know.
just a tag.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're looking at Google Maps. See how it always stays there when you move?
Yeah.
Aw.
You want to know where Google is located? Their
Where?
headquarters? They have offices all around the world, but it's really, really close to where I lived in San Francisco. See, let's look. Google headquarters, Mountain View. Boop. It's zooming, it's loading. Here it is. It's called the Googleplex. And they have bicycles on their campus. They ride around the work with bicycles of all kinds of different funky colors, and they have cool places to hang outside, and they have little mascots with giant lollipops. It's really cool.
Mommy, look at them. I want mommy to see them. I want mommy to see the
I
mascots.
missed oh, there. Yeah.
This little
Yeah.
Android guy, he represents like their brand. And so my phone is a Google phone. In fact, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Where is it? You might not be able to see, but there's a G right there. Do you see the G?
Yeah.
That's
Mommy's phone is an Apple phone.
Yep. And Apple's really close to Google. It's right down the street. Because this part of the world, over here in San Francisco, a lot of the biggest technology companies they live right there. And that's why I lived in San Francisco for so many years, because I worked with technology companies.
You did?
Mm-hmm. He works for a company called Monkey.
Yeah, it was called Survey Monkey. Literally,
They're
that was
both
the name of the company. I know. Crazy, right? I have shirts that have monkeys on them because that's where we worked.
So when are we actually going to learn about Peru?
Peru,
I mean the other one. Brazil!
Back to the topic.
It's Friday Fun Day, so he wanted to tell you
Friday
about
Fun Day. All right, so Brazil, it's massive. It has a lot of neighbors. It has 60% of the world's rainforests, and it has a lot of people. There's 200 million people, which is almost as many as the US. So it has a lot of people. It is 20 times bigger than Portugal. It is 20 times bigger than Pennsylvania. So it's really big, really, really big.
I know what their favorite.
What do you know, Hayden?
I know what their favorite sport is.
Oh, really? What do you think their favorite sport is?
Soccer.
I don't know. We'll have to find out later on when we get to the favorite sports section.
Oh yeah, it's definitely soccer.
We'll see. So
you're smiling.
One of the things that's really fun about Brazil is that it's a super diverse country. They have a lot of white people, they have a lot of black people, they have a lot of people who are somewhere in between white and black. They have people of all different shapes and colors. And it's just the way that the population is there. They have a little bit of everything. And so when you're in Brazil, you could never tell who's Brazilian based on the color of their skin because there's so much diversity. See how the kids all have like different color skins?
Why in this other picture of those kids, why do they all look grumpy?
I don't know. It must have just been a grumpy day, or maybe they're trying to be funny.
Probably.
Yeah, it says Brazilian kids pose and look tough. They're trying to look tough. All right, so those are the kids. They also have indigenous people. Do you know what indigenous means?
No.
It means native. So it's people who've lived there for a long, long, long time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And these are the folks who live out in the Amazon. They live out in the forest. And similar to some of the other photos you've seen with some of the other countries, like in Peru and some of the ones we looked at in Tanzania, they can wear super funky things like these feather hats. And sometimes they paint their bodies and they have funky instruments to make sounds, so all kinds of fun stuff. It's a very vibrant culture. There's a lot of energy. People are really happy and really excited and very social. Everyone is very friendly there. their biggest city is called Sao Paulo, and it's actually the biggest city in all of the Americas. So of
Wow.
all this land over here, all of South America and all of North America and all the United States, Sao Paulo is the biggest city. And
Interesting.
look at how massive it is. I'll pull up a photo here. Look how big it is. It's enormous. It's just tall buildings everywhere in every direction. They also have the most beautiful city, I think, maybe in the entire world. Was there a question?
Quinn's distracted by something else. Good. Focus.
They have, I think, the most beautiful city in the world, or at least one of them.
That's so pretty.
Rio. It is so pretty.
Yeah.
They have mountains and cities and beaches all tucked in into the same
It's
place.
in a movie we know. It's in a movie we know.
Which one?
It's called Rio, the movie.
Oh,
It's called
wow.
Rio.
I need to watch it. That sounds super cool.
And they have Rio too. And there is a Rio too. And it has this
Maybe
big
I'll watch
picture.
it this weekend.
And it has this big picture of Jesus too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I will, at the end of today, I'm going to show you a picture that I took of that Jesus, or that I tried to take at least.
It's a cartoon movie. Yeah, it's about a bone.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you liked it? What did you like about it?
And at the end of Rio 2, there was this big flock of blue boats, and they're coming, and they're flying at the bad guys.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what kind of birds they were?
Blue.
Were they called macaws?
And yeah, blue macaws.
We're going to see some photos of macaws today, too.
And the blue, and one of them was called Blue. His name is Blue. He was the main character, and he got married and had 3 little babies.
Wow. Baby birdies?
Two were boys, and one was a girl. In the
That
second
sounds
movie,
super fun.
All right, now let's.
I'm really excited to watch it.
Let's keep learning about.
at least kind of.
So, one of the things to know about Brazil is that while it's big and it's beautiful and there's a lot of amazing things, they also have some less amazing things. And one of that is there's a lot of poverty there. So people who don't have a lot of money. And what that means is, especially in this city in Rio, they live up in the hills in really, really small houses that all sit on top of each other. So it's really, really, really tight. So you will have houses like this where, you know, in one house, there might be 6 people living in one room in some extreme cases. So it's like if you 4 and then Mimi and Pops all live together, but only in your living room.
All the time.
All the time. So it's very, very tight. And partially because of that, not the only reason, but when countries don't have a lot of money, or when people are in poverty, sometimes there can be more crime. And so there might be more stealing from other people and more bad stuff because they don't have a lot. And so they're doing whatever they can to make sure they can survive. So wanted to share that, while I also share some of the beautiful parts of Brazil.
So pretty!
Beaches. They have some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. The water is super colorful, and it's right up against the city. So this is right in the city. It's kind of like Barcelona from Spain, remember? Where they had the beach right next to the city? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was in both Sao Paulo and Rio. So I lived right in this area, and in the mornings, I would grab a coffee, and I would walk out to the sand, and I'd walk around in the sand, and then I'd walk back in and start my work day. So every day before school or work would start, you could walk out to the beach. It's super fun.
That's so cool.
And people like to play soccer on the beach. They play lots and lots of soccer on the beach.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool. Because you know why? Because they love soccer. Soccer is their favorite sport. Of course it is. In fact,
we knew that.
In fact, Brazil is so good at soccer that they've won the World Cup 5 times. That means they're the best country in the world in soccer. Often. Super, super good.
Pretty cool, huh?
One of the fun things I mentioned earlier is that they have a lot of energy. You know, they're always happy and they're dancing, and You know, it's very exciting all the time. And they have this festival once a year called Carnival. And basically, it's where they celebrate the diversity of life. You know about Carnival? Was that in the Rio movie?
Yep.
There you go. Well,
this weird dog loves it.
Yeah.
This weird dog collector loves it so much.
Amazing. I am super excited to see this movie. I can't wait. So one of the fun things is the Amazon. The Amazon's massive, as we saw on the map. And they have this one river that kind of looks like a snake. See how it goes back and forth? It is one of the biggest rivers in the world. The Amazon River and then the Nile River are the two biggest rivers in the world. And it goes so far. It goes across like the whole continent, all the way across through the forest. It's huge. Huge. And within the forest, there are many birds and creatures.
Parrots! Blue macaws.
Blue macaws.
That second one on the top is that second one on the top is what Blue looks like, except he was in a cartoon version, and he was a little bit lighter than that color. Yeah.
Okay.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
And the little ones, those little 3 birds right there on the top row, those ones, those are what the babies look like.
Oh man, they are so cute. Are they funny too? Did they dance and sing?
Yeah, they actually do. Yeah, they actually do.
Great. I think actual macaws dance and sing too. They sing and they have singing competitions. You guys know the show American Idol?
I've heard of it before.
Yeah, they've never watched it. We haven't talked about it much.
Yeah.
Well, they do macaw idol. So all the birds are competing to see who has the prettiest voice. And then there's these 3 red birds. These 3 red birds right here, and they judge them, and they decide who had the prettiest voice.
Oh, yeah,
and then whoever had the best voice becomes the queen macaw. And they get a little crown.
That's in Rio too. Yeah, they're just like dancing in the beginning of the movie, and like dancing and singing like this.
Amazing. It reminds me of Happy Feet and the Penguins.
Yeah, that was in Rio too.
Amazing. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be
Rio
so fun. And maybe there's toucans? Are there any toucans in Rio? Toucans?
Yeah.
Toucans are funky looking birds with big old beaks.
The toucans' babies in the movie are really mischievous and bad and naughty. Yeah, they pick almost all of the feathers off Blue.
Silly toucans. See, this toucan has a flag. It has the Brazil flag, which is a big green flag with yellow and blue. Crazy.
That's so cool.
Now, they also have a super funky animal called a tapir or a tapir or something like this.
Yeah.
Tapir.
It's so cute.
It is kind of cute. It looks kind of like a warthog with like a nose that wants to be an elephant nose, but it's not an elephant nose.
Look, it's a baby! They're so cute.
They also have big alligators and crocodiles called caiman.
Mm.
You don't want to mess with those. They like to bite. Brazil ships more coffee to other countries than any other country in the world because they have so much land and it's so hot all the time. They make tons of coffee. And did you know that coffee is not always brown beans? The brown beans come from inside the fruit of the coffee, which is actually a red berry. These berries, that's where all the coffee comes from. It's inside these berries. That's pretty crazy, right?
Yes,
and it's actually a little bit sweet. If you open up the fruit, there's a little bit of sweetness on the outside of the bean. And the reason they get all brown, they're like kind of beige, kind of like the color of the Brazil map here, or this guy's shirt, when they first come out. But then they roast them, they cook them, and that's when they get all brown. They also make a ton of sugar cane. And you know what you get from sugar cane?
Sugar.
Ding, ding, ding. They get tons of sugar. And the sugar is inside these sticks. So if you were to take a piece of this stick and put it in your mouth and chew on it, it would be super, super sweet. And people do that. I had some sugar cane and I put it in my mouth and I chewed on it and it's just like sugar, pure sugar. And so they take all the sugar out of these sticks and they ship them all over the world so little boys and girls can enjoy ice cream and brownies and candy. What do you think about that?
Are you thankful?
Yeah.
Well, you have Brazil to thank. It's not the only country that does it, but they ship a lot of it. And your mommy and daddy and Mimi and Pops have Brazil to thank for their coffee. They love to eat meat. There's something called a Brazilian steakhouse. And what they do is instead of you just ordering one piece of meat, you sit at your table and they bring around all these different kinds of meat one at a time. And they say, would you like some sausage? Would you like some chicken? Would you like some beef? Would you like some pork? And they just go and they shave off any kind of meat that you want. In fact, here's a photo of someone coming and ordering meat at their tables. So they serve you a lot of food. It's very expensive to go to these places. So it's a very, very special treat. You wouldn't go often. But if you like meat, this is one of the best places to eat at.
I love meat. I don't like meat. I don't like why they kill animals for meat, but I love meat once it's killed.
It's tasty, yeah.
I like it. They have to kill chickens. That is sad.
They do.
But
yeah, I don't personally eat meat, but
what about the eggs?
The eggs?
Farmers get new chickens, Aiden.
Yeah.
Because of the eggs, farmers get new chickens.
And here are some of the other types of things that they eat. So they'll eat beans, and they'll have chicken and fish and rice and tomato. So a lot of the things that people have in hot climates. In hot cultures, they'll eat a lot of rice and beans, chicken and fish, and just pretty basic food. So all things that you'd probably like, Gwen. And one of their really special foods is called pão de queijo. And do you know what queijo is?
No.
Have you heard of queso? So queijo is how they say it in Portuguese, and queso is how they say it in Spanish, but it means cheese. So they have bread that's mixed with cheese. Sometimes it's like a chunk of cheese inside of it, and sometimes the cheese is kind of cooked into it.
There's a cheese called queso fresco. We always put it on our top on Tuesday.
Yeah. This one, it's like, it tastes like bread and cheese at the same time. It's like the flavor of the bread is cheese.
Yeah. I don't like most cheese, but I like some cheeses, but not most of them.
Okay. Which ones do you like and which ones do you not like? Like, what's your number one favorite and your least favorite?
Well, some of my favorites are, I like the shredded up ones into like these little tiny skinny thingies, and they're like mozzarella and cheddar mixed together. I like
fresh mozzarella a lot with tomatoes.
Yeah, fresh
Pretty
mozzarella.
Yummy.
Oh, yeah. I also like these are from September Farms. It's a really good place. There's ice cream and cheese and everything. You can sample a lot of things.
I like sharp cheeses.
They have like pizza cheese and pepperoni cheese and like all different kinds of cheese.
They have pepper jack cheese?
One of my least favorite kinds of cheese that Mommy eats all the time is blue cheese. Yeah.
It can be really yummy on salads, but that's kind of the only thing. All right. Do you guys want to see some pictures of me doing crazy things in Brazil?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I'm not sure. How much do you want to see it? Like scale of 1 to 10.
A lot. 10.
A lot? A 10? All right, fine. Give you
two
some
10s,
photos.
which is basically 20.
Great. 20 out of 10. I'm on board. So this is Sao Paulo. It's the really, really big city. And one of the things that's really fun that they do in Brazil and a lot of countries all throughout South America is on Sundays in the middle of the city, they shut down the major streets to cars. They say no cars today or no cars this morning. Instead, everyone come and have fun. And so there will be people blowing bubbles in the street and kids, and everyone's just having fun and playing. Adults and kids. Every Sunday. Super cool, right?
I like that.
I wish cities did it in the U.S. as well. It is really fun, and the whole community comes out, and you can make new friends and see new people, and it's amazing.
I like that.
It's a cool thing that they do.
Where's
and
you?
Where's what?
Where's you? Where's you?
Where am I in this photo? I'm the one taking it.
Where's you doing these crazy things?
Just wait. Maybe I'm slacklining across that giant hole. What do you think? Over a road.
Is that you?
No, that's not me. That guy has a bunch of back tattoos. But he was a crazy guy. He was walking over top a highway on a rope.
I would have never done that.
No, most people would never do that. He was a brave and very talented person.
Wait, did he make it?
He made it. He made it several times. He kept going back and forth and back and forth. And they do, like some of the other cities we've looked at, really cool art on the side of buildings. Look how tall this building is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories tall. And there's a huge painting on it. The painting is 10 stories tall.
I know what stories are.
You know what?
I know what stories are.
What stories
There
are?
two
Good.
kinds of stories. There are two kinds of stories. A story that you read and a story of how tall a building is.
Brilliant. You're learning so much.
Our house is 1 story, unless you count the attic and the basement. Then it's 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you remember how many stories the building in Taiwan was? Really big one.
100.
Yeah, over 100. So it was 10 times the size of this building. What do you think? Should they put a giant face on it?
On a building that's that high, 100 stories.
They could probably do 10 faces.
Aiden, back to
All
your
right,
side, please.
moving on. Some other art. This is the flag. So they put the flag on the side of a building. This was a whole neighborhood made of tile. It was so pretty. It was red and it was green and it was yellow and it was super fun. And there's a guy here playing the guitar and there's people walking around. It was just really, really fun.
Wow.
Here's a photo of Rio. So I went on top of one of the mountains and took a photo of the city from a different angle than what you've seen so far. And see these wires over here?
Yeah, I know what they do.
Yeah. You know what they do? What do they do?
So they go on these little, like, big circle things and they sit down and you get to ride across the city and look at all the buildings.
Yeah, exactly right.
And mountains and stuff. You can, like, hold on to this thing. You can hold on to this thing with wings, too, and, like, just jump into the sky, and then you're, like, flying. You can do, like, you have to, like, hold on to this thing and, like, go. Like, you get clipped onto something, and you can just, like, go down, like, just sitting down in something, or like...
I think you're thinking of zip lining.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can zip line.
That's also very similar. This is called a gondola, and that's where, that was the first thing you said, where you get into this little, like, car, and it takes you all the way over. And because, look at this mountain, it's crazy, right? So you can't build a road in between the two mountains. So they put one of these in, so we could all get in the car, and it was like, zoop, and it threw us over to the other side. Zoop. See, there it is. And there's the beach off in the background, and that giant Jesus statue is right over here. See it? Right where the mouse is?
Yep.
All the way over there. So I tried to go there.
Some people there
and this is the photo I got. This is the photo I got. It was in the clouds. You couldn't even see him.
Foggy day.
Couldn't even see him. You couldn't see the view. But I did see him made out of sand.
Whoa.
Down on the beach. They made a sand Jesus.
We have sculptures in the sand in Ocean City of Jesus, but not like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do that.
This one's just like the one in Rio. I think that's why they did it that way.
Probably.
So here's some of the beach photos that I took. You can see how many people are on the beach. You know, they really like the beaches. Very beautiful.
Look, it's so shallow.
It is pretty shallow. Lots of people hanging out. And this guy was collecting soda cans. He had so many soda cans. He was recycling. And he just had this giant bag of soda cans. So I felt like I had to take a picture and show you guys.
Where's you doing crazy things now?
Me doing crazy things. Yes, that is coming. Just wait. Rio has the biggest piece of art on an outdoor building in the world. The biggest, it's called a mural. And this is only part of it. This is only one of 5 parts of it. And it just continues along this building. And you can see it's taller than these trees, right? And taller than these people. So it's so big. And it's all different people representing Brazil's diversity. So they have indigenous people, and they have old people, and they have really old people, and they have young people. And so they had all these different photos representing the diversity of Brazil and of the world.
Whoa.
And they had a peacock, which was pretty fun.
Okay, now where else you do crazy things? Whoa.
This is a funky tree.
Whoa.
This is my friend Danny standing underneath a big rock.
Whoa.
And there's my friend Danny standing on top of that big rock.
That's dangerous.
And here's your crazy uncle standing inside a waterfall.
Why are you doing that?
Because it was really shallow, so you could walk on it, and you could walk right up, and it was basically like a shower. You could feel all the water. It was so fun. And so
Wait.
We did a hike through the river. It was a very shallow river, so we just took our shoes off and we hiked all through the river, and it led us to this waterfall.
How did you get up that part? How didn't the water push you off?
Well, I climbed very carefully. You can't see it in the photo, but down where it is here, there was an area that you could walk up to it more easily.
There's rocks.
Yep, you could walk up on the rocks. The rocks are underneath the water.
How do you get up that part?
This part right here? Oh, this next part? I walked back over to the side. See how on the side you can escape into the trees?
You jumped down into the trees?
I didn't jump. I walked over into the trees, but not this direction. I walked towards the camera where the photo is taken. My friend Danny took this picture. What do you think? Am I sufficiently crazy?
Yeah.
Cool. I thought you might think so. I think that was my last photo. Nope, I was wrong. I have 2 more. We were out in just the countryside up in the mountains, and it was so pretty. My guess, Hayden, is that you wanted to see a picture of me in front of a field of giant lettuce. Is my guess right?
No. We just heard a baby cry when he was in the middle of speaking. It was just like this.
Wow.
Must be a baby
Where's
outside.
Where's the baby?
On the street, I guess. Our windows are open.
Oh, I see. Well, that's Brazil. What was your favorite part? Or what was something you liked?
You.
You liked me?
Mm-hmm.
Wee! I'm glad that you like me. That makes me feel good. Thank you for telling me. I like you too. And I like your eyeball, Quinn. And I like your shirts. And I like your silly laughs and your crazy feet.
Can you guys tell them something you actually liked about Brazil, though?
Everything.
Can you tell me one thing, though, that was interesting to you?
Llamas.
Were the llamas your favorite thing you've seen in our 2 weeks of learning about the world, Hayden? You too, Quinn? Did I send you guys the photos of me with the llama?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I need to send you guys the photos of me with the llama. I will find it and send it to you tonight or this morning so you guys have it. All right?
All right.
For you for tonight.
Yeah, for me tonight. For you this morning. Because time is weird.
I know that probably hurt. Let's say bye to Uncle Drew.
Bye.
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 Love you.
Bye.
Love you too.